Man, it's a sad day in the music world, man. I can't believe this, man. They done got Diddy, man. They done got Brother Love. They done got Puffy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. They done locked them up. They ain't threw away the key yet, but they locked them up. And they denied his bail. Can you believe that? Diddy, with all the power he used to have? Because, man, they done cracked down on your boy, man. The sex trafficking, allegedly. Racketeering. The freak shows. The freak tapes. Racketeering is so dangerous, y'all, to the point that if you was even in the same house that all this was taking place in, you liable to get locked up and probably won't get let out. You probably won't even get let out. You probably be right there along with them. It's a big chance, big possibility. If you even cracked open the door and tried to, and thought it was a bathroom, and it was a bedroom, and you just see two dudes and one on his knees, and Puff was the one standing, you liable to steal. Possibility. Get locked up. That's how crazy racketeering is. Now, Biggie, I'm going to tell y'all a little something about Biggie knew how the way Puff was moving back then. So with him being and seeing and being in presence and seeing how the way Puff was moving then, you already know. Common sense will tell you. Biggie knew. Oh yes, Biggie knew that this day was going to come. Even Gene Deal told you that if I'm saying this correctly, something about that he didn't give a damn if Big had to die or Pac had to die or Suge get locked up or something, or Pac get locked up. But that was crazy. For him to say that, then let you know, like, this dude right here, he wasn't all the way put together. Like, it was something that was missing. Soul, like soulless, And we loved all the music he sampled because it sounded so good. But you separate the art, the music from that person, and you just get that person, you'll see everything you need to know if you just continue to pay attention. Now, Gene went also stated, that's Biggie's security guard, as well as Puff, as well, might as well say too also, that Puff was gonna get locked up. I thought Gene was just, I thought at that point when he said that, like, I ain't saying he wouldn't get locked up, but I mean, it was like damn near like Gene knew the time and all this was gonna happen, like he had ESPN or something. I'm just joking. But ESP, he said Puff was gonna get locked up. And then when I'm seeing that when the feds had raided one of Puff's homes in Miami, and he wasn't there, but his kids was there, and had to remove the kids and have them like outside in cuffs or whatever. I think it was Christian and the other one, Justin. And he wasn't there. And then like a couple of days ago, I seen him he was in New York, Brooklyn, New York, and he was like pounding up with somebody. And I'm like, man, like, he really ain't finna get locked up. But it makes you think, man. Nah, there's some shit that you know. If y'all look at celebrities, anybody that you seen on TV or listen to any of their music in the 90s and the early 2000s, you know that person, that the great music that they make, and how the way they move, it makes you question, how did they get there? But you ain't always trying to put that stamp. You don't want to always put that stamp of conspiracy along with it. But you know something just ain't right with those people. Biggie knew Puff wasn't right, but Biggie needed to get out the hood. There's some things that Jay did that he wasn't moving right. And this is just an example itself. What you do in the dark, it may not always come to light. But if you in that industry, it will. It will. I didn't even know half of this stuff of what Diddy was partaking in the 90s. Because in the 90s, it was no social media. It was nothing like this. It was barely just cell phone. We barely got cell phones. When we did get cell phones in the 90s, that was like in the late 90s, going towards the 2000s. So, if you like somebody of the age range of Diddy and you back in the 90s, you ain't thinking that any of the things that you partaking in during the 90s will ever come to light. Because like I said, there was no cell phones. And they didn't know back then that we was gonna have social media as big as it is now, and for people to go digging and end up pulling up stuff from people's past. They didn't think that then because they didn't have cell phones then. They didn't think it was gonna become what we have now, and I didn't even think that. As a kid, just playing with a cell phone, just wanting one so bad, and that was like before I even reached the age of 16. When I just wanted me a cell phone because I was like, I liked how the way it looked. And it was smaller. It was like a small, portable, cordless phone or whatever. And I just liked it. And we had an extra one in the crib that was one of my mom's old cell phones. And I just like how the way it looked, man. And I liked the whole beeper stage. Like, it never worked, but I just like the fact that I could always play with the beeper. That was back in that time. I was probably like, what, 5 or 6 years old. This was like mid-90s. So, going on to say, man, they didn't know that, Puff didn't know that back then we was going to get what we getting now. And with people at the same time being able to, with social media has expanded and continuing to expand. And you got these different outlets, social media outlets. You got the TikToks, YouTubes, Facebooks, Instagrams. You got all that's continuing to expand. So people can, do anything that they want to do, or find or dig up anything, or talk to anybody that was around in the 90s with him as looking for a payday or a pay cut, and they're going to tell you everything you need to know. Anybody that knew Puff, anybody that was partake in any of those parties, got the right price, they're gonna lend you the right details. It's just plain and simple. And people been talking and starting with Cassie like she's like the leader. Soon Cassie let people know exactly what they needed to know about what Puff did to her allegedly, and then we seen the video on surveillance with the dragging and everything like that. Like, that opened the door. And now you got one of his fellow artists, former artists that he used to, produce with Danny DeCane, one of those group members, Dawn. Now she's coming out. She's coming out. Now she's saying like she got something to say about some stuff that happened, situation between him and her. And I said, damn, man. I'm all about people getting their rightful justice of what's due and everything like that, but it started to look like maybe like somebody just looking for some bread. Not saying he didn't do nothing in none of those situations. I ain't, co-signing nothing that Diddy or his behavior or nothing, none of that. But you gotta look at the timing of all this, and how all of this is happening. when people's pockets get a little, hold on, y'all. When people's pocket get a little dry, you know, or I could have just used my shirt, get a little dry. They starting to want to come out. But Cassie gave them confidence to be able to come out and speak on what they feel like they should speak on. For the right price, of course. Because if that was the case, she would have sent it. She would have been unspoken on whatever she needed to speak about involving him a long time ago. But it's crazy, man, because Puff, he brought so much to the music game, but at the same time, he wasn't right. He wasn't right mentally. He wasn't right emotionally. It was something that was lacking that he wasn't able to present to the world. And he tried to bottle it up and channel it through the music, but it wasn't enough. Like you can dish out all the emotions, how the way you feeling all you want, and put it on that paper and go in the studio and either rap it or sing it. But does that really mean that you fully cleansed? Like you really feel like it's therapeutic, don't get me wrong. But with all the music that he made, that he was able to get out what he was going through, he was still the same. So it's kind of make you think like, this is like the music industry is like a script. And the artists are the actors. Not all of them, but in most cases are the actors, actresses. And it's only so long for you to keep acting until you're tired of acting, until you act out. And Diddy has acted out. And now he's paying the consequences. But this is to be continued. But Biggie knew this all along. Sunset Reality TV. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all know what it is. One love. Peace.